Hey, my diggers, I'm Grandpa Max Angler, and this video is kind of somber. It is going to be talking about suicide, so if that is not something you want to talk about, fuck off, I guess. Anyway, so the topic came up. I'm not going to share who I was speaking to because it is a sensitive topic, even though the information is public knowledge. Um, a lot of people have been committing suicide. The game market, or the AAA market is crashing. A lot of people have been going through a lot of problems and they think there's no way out. So they've been killing themselves, and that's sad. It is sad. Despite what I'm going to say, that is a fact that is happening. It needs to change. People need to know that they shouldn't be killing themselves because they lose their career. So here's what I said. Now, I won't say this out loud. Well, I won't say it on Twitter because the guy I'm talking to, it would cause him problems. But I believe there are two kinds of people who commit suicide, and I only have empathy for one group of them: the people with no escape and the people who think they have no escape. I got into accessibility to help the latter. I have empathy and pity for the former. I helped my mom end her suffering by fighting against my dad and many of her doctors to put her in hospice. She had had 12 heart attacks, and it was my job as her son to make sure she died well. They put her in a home. She hid bed sores to to hurry things along, and they became gangrenous. And it's like, okay, look, she's hiding injuries. She wants to die. She is weak. She can't talk anymore. She can't do anything anymore. It is suffering. We need to end her suffering. That is what I told the doctors. That is what I told my dad. Eventually, it evolved into a big old screaming match, or it devolved, I guess you'd say. And I got my way. I put her in hospice. They gave her a ton of pain pills. She died 30 minutes later with a smile on her face. And the nurse really wanted me to know that. So anyway, obviously I will be diverting from my little speech that I wrote for the guy. But while I want to help people not feel trapped, I absolutely have no pity for the ones who feel like they are and kill themselves. They're quitters. It's sad, yes, but they're weak. A similar mindset is what landed me in prison all those years ago. That's why I don't have pity for them, because I was the dumb shit who fucking basically had the same mindset. So I've been there. These devs who've killed themselves, their bodies work. They're allowed, nay, encouraged, to work. They don't know the meaning of true hopelessness. They can downsize and pivot to indie development or switch careers altogether and move into an apartment and start over. I feel for them right up until they decide to kill themselves. It's weakness from weak people in a weakness encouraged society, and I have no time for it. But we disabled, we didn't ask for this. We didn't pursue this, and God forbid when you become disabled later in life, that's terrifying. Giving them a light in the darkness, that's why I do this. They need to know that their lives aren't over. They need to know there's an escape less permanent than the one they're contemplating. If I had the reach for it, there would be a lot of people, able and disabled, who would see a different perspective and reflect on their lives in comparison to others whom they've never even considered before. I would save these weak people from the gun or the pills. And that was my little sermon. And it's the truth. All of these able-bodied game devs who are offing themselves, if they saw what we go through, what we disabled go through on a daily basis, not being able to see, not being able to hear, not being able to move around, not being able to leave the house because of mental issues like agoraphobia, having PTSD and complex PTSD. Those people didn't ask for that, although I guess that some of them kind of did by joining the military. That's kind of a back and forth between that. I love our militaries. I respect the hell out of our military service peoples, but yeah, their PTSD, it can be argued one way or the other, but I have nothing but respect for them. So, I mean, obviously they've been through some shit. They're gonna go through it. It is what it is. But even then, there are ways out of it. And I am firmly in the camp of video games being a good therapeutic and rehabilitative tool to help these people. My mom, when she was circling the drain, had video games that she could fall back on to bring her back from the brink of mental decay, because she was having a bunch of TIAs at the time, and causing issues. I'm seriously wondering if my mom had what I have with the poor circulation and stuff. But that's a tangent for another time. During her last years, I was playing Animal Crossing. She heard it and she was asking, hey, what are you doing? What is this game? So I brought my GameCube out. I mean, this was when I was like 18 or 19 at the time. And I hooked it up to the big TV in the front room, and I played it for her, and she got really into it. She liked watching it. It was soothing, and eventually she got a GameCube of her own, and holy Christ, did she dove into that thing fucking both feet. Multiple save cards, multiple villages, and then she got into Harvest Moon, and then she got into Pikmin, and I mean it brought her back. And then you look at like people who are going blind later in life. That has to be fucking terrifying. I mean, I know when I went for my cataract surgery and they said there was a risk I could go blind, even knowing what I know, I was terrified. I bought like $60 worth of Legos. I had audiobooks. I was prepared. If this shit was going to go down, I was going to be prepared for it. But there is no real preparation sometimes. Sometimes you just, a brain bleed or some like injury, you hit your head or maybe it's just a genetic condition or you don't know, or you just go blind. What do you do? People need to know that your life doesn't end when you go blind. That you can still do something as quote unquote childish or simple or what have you as playing video games, because I believe video games are a good tool to have to help people escape from bad times. Not forever, obviously. But there's a reason that people drink. There's a reason that people do drugs. There are many reasons, and one of those reasons is they need an escape. And I believe video games are a healthier escape most of the time. Those heady days of the early to mid 2000s when everybody was addicted to MMOs. I apologize for my voice. I have allergies. So anything done to an extreme is bad. Exercise is, extreme exercise is bad. Extreme dieting is bad, etc., etc. Same thing goes with video games. But my thing is to circle back around. I feel for these devs. I do. But I have a few points, okay? One of them is the bubble bursts. The bubble always bursts. The housing bubble bursts. The video game bubbles burst. The COVID bubble burst. Thank God. And not having backup plans, that's on you. I have a backup plan. If my YouTube gets yeeted, if my Twitch gets banned, if I become anathema to online, I can get a second dog, and I will be fine, because I have people who I live with who care about me. Now, let's say the people who I live with who care about me suddenly die, because there's no way they'll kick me out. I'm not the kind of person to make them want to kick me out, right? I have plans there. I have ways and means. I have backup plans upon backup plans. If shit goes south, I know what I'm doing. Why don't you? Why don't you, game developers? Why don't you, people who are sad, who are depressed? Why don't you have backup plans for when shit goes south? Because shit always goes south. Murphy's Law. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. Why don't you have something else that you can do? Why can't you go into indie development? Why can't you go into finding a new career? Why can't the person who is going blind, who knows they have a few years left of vision, why don't they take advantage of that and plan for this eventuality, this certainty? That's the word I was looking for. It is baffling to me what people decide to do with their lives and what people choose not to do with their lives. And the reason I got into game accessibility is it's twofold. I wanted to show people who are now where I was then that there is a better way, and I wanted to show people who are where my mom was that there is a better way. That it is not hopeless, that you do not need to kill yourself, that you can find something to occupy your brain so that it can recharge and find a new idea, a new path. So, I don't know, the whole heady topic of suicide coming up when I woke up was kind of interesting. So I thought I'd talk about it. Anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed this. I have been Max Angor, and I will see you all next time.